Oh, good evening, RSC. Welcome to another stream. We got a prospect matchup today. Currently, it's just me. We are possibly going to be getting a second caster here, but I'm on for a solo cast, and we'll get to see what I can pull off. We have Earth versus Emus today, the Elements franchise, and Flightless Fowl. We're just slowly working on trying to get teams in here. HUD is working on that in the background right now. But we're trying to do our best here. I'm gonna be so bad at doing everything that I need, but I at least have stats link overlay, so I can at least see what kind of stats we're working with, as long as everything's working. Because I know lately it's been a bit of a pain. We'll go ahead and go over some things. Maybe nope, still not working on my end. Great. All right, so we're just gonna spitball. I just get to yap. Well, I'll at least get to see how chat's doing. How's chat doing? How are we doing tonight? Everybody doing okay? Matches go well? Something like that? Uh, no, but obviously, of course, we do have gambling going on, so make sure to get your predictions in. Yeah, something's... I'm already in there. Yes. But yeah, something sports team. That's kind of the best I got right now. I don't have stats. Something's broken in the back end. I don't know exactly what's going on. Players are slowly starting to filter in. I don't even know who's on which team. Yeah, prediction is running right now. I did see that. Be sure to get your votes in. Oh, did it already close? Wow, it closed fast. Well, yes, please go ahead. HUD is yapping to be in the background. We got all the players in. I'll go ahead and jump into spectate, and HUD can get the players on the field. All right, so on the we have Eagle, Nate, and Washiman. On Emus, we have Larkspur, Yerp, and Yoshawatt. Go ahead and get this game started right away. Eagle has possession of the ball. Lark's going for a challenge here, gets it off to the corner, leads it to Washi, trying to get another touch. Cleared downfield strong. Eagle gets a touch here, but it's going to be dangerous. No threat at the moment. Nate will take possession. Takes it all the way over to the sidewall here. Gets some boost, but gets demoed for his efforts. And another demo comes out in the midfield as Yerp takes control of the ball. Eagle able to send this out of the way, but Larkspur gets a touch. It's floating in front of the net, and Larkspur will get an easy goal here. Just kind of floats in. Nobody was able to get a touch. Washi just had to get something there, but rotated just a little bit past the ball. Go ahead and get underway with our second kickoff here. Kind of neutral kickoff. Yerp gets a touch. It's going to go backboard. No threat, really. Nate does get it clear. Ball falls harmlessly as Joshua gets a second touch. Pops it in the air. Looking for a second. Maybe a pass. Takes the shot. Nate is able to get back in time. Saves it away. Ball's going to end up in the Emus half now. Washiman with a shot on target. It goes off the post. Can anybody follow up? No. Eagle unable to put it away as Joshua will finally clear. Yosha? I just call you Watt for right now so I can understand what's going on. Nate puts a shot on target. Cleared away by Larkspur. Eagle now putting another shot towards the sidewall here, but not going anywhere. Quick challenge from Washi. Watt will put this away. Larkspur off the sidewall, looking for another pass. Yerp unable to put anything on target here. Ball kind of settles now. A little bit of a settling from both teams. Emu's looking for another attacking opportunity. Nate will clear this away. Yerp will pop this up. Larkspur gets a touch, follows it up. Nothing doing here as Washi will clear it away. Eagle gets a demo downfield. Somebody just needs to put this on target now, but it just goes off the sidewall again. Now the ball will get cleared away, but Yerp has no boost here. Nate, quick challenge. It's going to go to the backboard. Can Watt clear this away? No, it's bouncing in front of the net. Can Eagle get a touch? Eagle drops it into the bottom right corner, I'm going to say, if I'm looking at this correctly. Of course I was right the first time. Bottom left. Excuse me, I'm so bad at reading where this ball's going half the time. Kickoff ends up in, oh my, quick shot opportunity coming from Nate. Nate will put this away. Suddenly we have a different swing here as Earth will take the lead. Good passing between Nate and Eagle there. Eagle able to get a ball off the post there, right into Nate's path, and Nate's able to sink it away. About 2 minutes gone now. Trying to see if anything more can happen here. Washi gets control of the touch, but Watt will put this away. Eagle now trying to send this to the middle. Is anybody there? Nate was, but it gets cleared away by Yerp. Yerp looking to pass this to the middle. Now teammate gets demoed in the middle, so nobody there to receive his pass. Lark getting a touch out. Nate's able to clear it. Nate with a touch to the middle. Is anybody there? A demo in the backfield by Nate. Unfortunately, no shot coming out. And just as I say that, Washi puts on an impressive shot. Great pass from Eagle. Good vision to get that ball over to somebody. And I see my my producer there kind of mess it up in the background. I quickly spied that on my phone when I was looking around. Unless I just missed something, I don't know. I'm very confused all the time. Eagle has possession of the ball here. Trying to put his team further into the lead here. Nate gets a touch, it goes off the ceiling. Double commit here from Emus. Washi's able to touch it down, unable to get it past Europe. Europe needs to get a second touch here off the post. Is anybody there? No, it's high. They're gonna try to keep this pressure on though. Watt has no boost but gets a 50. Lark needs to go, but leaves it for his teammate. Ball just kind of bouncing harmlessly now. Demo from Europe. Ball comes flying out. Nate's able to get this around. Maybe looking for a pass here. Unable to get the second touch. So this ball will get potentially cleared out, but Wachi's able to get a second touch. Eagle has possession. Goes as far as Watt. Watt will clear this out. No boost, but trying to get back to the ball. Trading a demo here. Lark just has to get control. Pops it over one. Eagle's there, but doesn't go very far. Nate's able to take possession here. Looking for a pass to the middle. Gets it back by one defender. Lark has to dive for this ball. And Lark's going to put it in the net all by themselves. Impressive stuff from Lark. Gets the stop and sends it all the way downfield. And I see Sauce has finally joined us. Hello, Sauce. Was your internet messing up with you too?
It was not an internet issue today. It was more of I had to take care of something very urgent and had to miss the first few minutes. But I see that goals have been flying off. Already a 3-2. I think this is a fantastic match as Larkspur keeps it in the corner. Orange team's trying to get to the goal. Eagle keeping it out. Larkspur trying to drop it down back to the mid. Nate's not going to let it happen. Yerp back to the corner, not able to make a touch. Larkspur's got minimal boost, and Yerp's going to have to take care of it. Kind of a back and forth in the middle, but 30 seconds left. It looks like Eagle wants another one. He does!
That was great stuff from Eagle here. Gets the boost, gets the pop over one, bumps Yerp out of the way, and then just keeps harassing Yerp to put him into the net. Finally taking once again, taking the 2-goal lead here. It looked like Emus were trying to mount a comeback here, but unfortunately with less than 30 seconds left, it's not going to be very easy to come back from 2 goals down at this point.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, and there's going to have to be some changes for the next game. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good start, but you're going to need to find something to be able to get a little bit more space. They haven't had too much to really work with. It's just been constantly one of the blue players on this, just always on top of you. As they do get one right there, just going to need that a little bit earlier as they have one for the road.
We'll take one for the road at this point. It gives you a little bit of a momentum swing going into game number 2. At least you didn't go down two goals to end the game. So at the very least, you have some type of momentum. I believe we're going to be switching lobbies here because it looks like everybody just backed out. So we're gonna go ahead and get the lobby remade. So Sauce, I know you kind of just joined unless you had like stream up and we're kind of seeing what was going on. But what are your thoughts on at least what you saw so far?
Well, I definitely can see Larkspur is showing up pretty big for the Emus right now. Just gonna need one, either Yoshawatt or Yerp to step up just a little bit more in this next game, and I think they could just make it an even greater game for them. As like the 3 goals coming out of Larkspur alone, just only 2 assists though. So Larkspur has done a lot solo play wise, and then if you can see on the for Earth, all very high points spread out pretty well. They're working everybody into the play.
I would absolutely agree. Also, the thing that Earth were doing that Emus weren't quite was there's just a lot of good stuff happening off the ball, whether it was demos or even just bumps, just trying to force people off the ball or even just make them a little bit awkward. Emus weren't really responding to those bumps and demos in kind. They're kind of just letting them happen. So I'm curious what they might do, in if Earth decides to keep that kind of strategy up.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna be decision to make to keep that playstyle. I think it's probably best to keep it because it worked so far for you this game, and you had a pretty commanding lead in the final few seconds of the game. Just keeping strong with those rotations, it's going to be pretty. It should be a pretty smooth game. Everybody's going to feel pretty open. They're not going to feel restricted at all. And I think that's what helped them out a lot. And I think it's just definitely going to be the best option for them.
So we'll definitely see if they continue with the play style, or if maybe they try to switch it up to confuse Emus a little bit. Gonna keep the same lineups. Nobody makes any changes yet. It is still early, so we'll have to see how everybody plays this game as we start our game number 2. Watt currently has control of the ball. Looking to get a second is 50 by Nate, who pops it up. Lark has possession of the ball again, pops it up over 1. Looking for a second touch, unable to do so. Washi will clear this away, and Watt's unable to get the touch, and now Earth is on the attack.
On the attack indeed, it looks like Washi had a very good air dribble set up right there, just kind of got a little too far off. But I like what I'm already seeing out of Earth. They're just, it's just been pretty consistent. The rotations are working in. There's usually somebody right there to make the touch that they need. 50s right there. It's just not letting anything too far past them. They haven't had to really worry on defense too much, and they're making pretty close touches too. They're not banging it away from each other. They're keeping it pretty close, allowing at least a 50 even if they are challenged.
Midfield pressure from Earth has been absolutely great. Eagle getting a demo here on the would-be defender. Washi's able to take control, gets it past 1, but Europe stands tall. Has possession of the ball now, trying to get their own shot, but Nate will be able to clear this away. Goes as far as Eagle. If 50's in the midfield again, Nate's up for it, has no boost. So Washi's able to put this away, but again, goes as far as Watt. A quick double touch, and that is a great shot from Lark. Lark once again putting the team on their back.
Again, just showing why he's the best player on their team. Just bangs it as hard as he can, 51 miles an hour, straight into the net. And it was pretty good placement too, just that bottom left corner. Europe's going to have to make something happen though, as Eagle won that one in the air, but now nobody's defending it in net. It just goes wide, so not too big of a threat right there. But the Earth is definitely trying to make something happen. They just got to not let it get too far away from them, and it's going to be a little bit easier for them as they try to get this goal back with 3 minutes remaining. A couple whifties coming out. This one actually gets down to Eagle, just too far left. Washi Man trying to keep it in. Yoshawatt's got an air dribble though. Nate keeping it off the left corner. This one's going to be set up for Washi as well. Larkspur just too quick. Having another threat to the other side of the goal, keeping it on the wall. That Eagle just gets the touch out, and they're going to have to reset.
Watt's low on boost here. Can Washi do anything? Pops a shot on target, but Watt's able to clear the ball away. Doesn't go very far. Nate gets a 50 here, but once again just flies right back into Earth's half. Earth is struggling a little bit this second game. They're not as offensively sound as they were before. it just seems like Emus are absolutely warming up as Yoshawatt will get a quick shot here. A great touch from Yerp to get that down to their teammate.
A great touch right there. Yoshawatt just not worried that somebody's might be able to save it right there and get him off. Just full powers straight in, gets it top post, in for the net, 2 goals, and now they're setting themselves up pretty well. Earth just got a little bit, they've been a little off since the first few seconds of the game. They had the passes and rotations going, touches were pretty good, and then now it's just kind of fallen apart a little bit. They haven't been able to keep that possession or pass it off. Nate's got a good shot right here, though. Great pass from Washiman.
Once again, we see Eagle doing a lot of stuff off the ball, pushes Yerp out of the way, manages to also collect Yoshawatt on the way out. Lark just has no boost, and a great shot to at least put Earth on the board finally. We're almost 3 minutes into this game now, and maybe now Earth will be able to start making some more forward progress. But as I say that, a great pass from Lark over to Yoshawatt, and we're suddenly back up to a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, just froze Eagle right there. Wasn't expecting that double tap into the front of the net, and nobody else was around to save it. Just a very good solo play to put it into the middle and line it up just for an easy shot right there from one of the teammates. Washiman's going to have to save that, a tough save, but Yoshawatt doesn't have enough boost to make anything happen. Keeping it along the backboard, not going to have a whole lot. Washiman actually gets a pretty good touch out of the way, but he doesn't have enough boost to follow it up, and neither are any of his teammates anywhere nearby. And I think that's what's hurting them right now. Just one person is way too far, but Eagle does it himself anyway. Great solo play by him.
It's great patience. Got the good pop-up to get it past the last defender and just basically walks it into the net. Eagle doing it all by themselves this time. We're back up to, once again, the distance is only 1 goal. About 1:30 left to go now, and there's only so much that can happen at this point. Earth just needs to get a quick shot here to at least tie it up, maybe send this into an overtime.
Yeah, and we saw the same situation for Earth earlier, and it's actually just repeating itself, just opposite teams here in game 2 as we get 4-2, not too much time left either, and it's just mimicking game number 1. Maybe we'll see another goal out of Earth here quick, and that boosts the confidence a little bit, but I think they're just letting too much ball in front of the net. But then all the awry touches come out of Emus, and it just sets them back up here. And fifth flick doesn't go quite the way, but Larkspur's already in the air. Nothing too threatening right there. But the bump does come out. Nate banging it back down. Trying to set something up with the demo. This one falls straight up off the ceiling and down. A rare pre-jump coming out of Larkspur right there. And this one's going to be falling back to the backboard. Dangerous area. Yoshawatt doesn't make the hit off the backboard. He's trying to follow up. He gets 2 tonight.
I gotta echo somebody I saw in chat right now. Where is the defense? It just seems like this has been an absolute scoring shootout in both of these first 2 games. I mean, we're already eclipsing 14 goals already across both games, almost. I think the next goal will already be 14 goals in. So everybody's just showing a lot of offensive firepower right now, and Emu's definitely coming out with some fire.
Yeah, we definitely didn't see this in many of my other matches that I've casted. Mainly just, I think the highest I've seen is 5 total goals maybe in a playoff or just any game. And now we're already at 7 in this one alone. The defense has disappeared, or maybe the offense has just gotten better, but Eagle has a little bit of boost, and Yerp just gets the touch. Just no more goals coming out. Washi wants another one too. Yeah, Earth just lost their rotations just a little bit, not able to connect like they had in that first game. It was just something was off. They let too much offensive pressure build, and they just couldn't get out of it.
Yeah, Emus were absolutely on fire that whole entire match. Lark in particular going. 2 goals, 2 assists, 2 saves, and 5 shots. Man picks up 2 cycles in a match. As a matter of fact, everybody on Emus has a cycle for this match, so that's a pretty crazy stat line to see. And every single goal but one was also assisted. So they're definitely doing at least the team play, making sure everybody gets involved. And it seems like they kind of picked up on what Earth was doing and kind of just set it right back at them, because they were suddenly getting bumps and demos off the ball, just trying to make them as awkward as possible. And like you said, Earth's rotations just kind of started breaking down.
Yeah, we definitely saw the breakdown, and then we talked about Earth maybe making some connections. It seems I got disconnected by a party error.
As long as you're still in the game, that's all that matters. We're
Looks
already
like we are fine. Just a couple technical difficulties, but yeah, we thought Earth might make a change just to switch up the defense a little bit, and if they did, it probably wasn't the greatest decision. Maybe we'll see them come back to it, but we definitely saw Emus make a big change in the way they were playing, as they're just pounding the net back and forth.
Oh my god. Right off the bat, Larkspur putting another goal into the net. Nate trying to get the best clear that they can, but Yosha gets just a good enough touch to drop it for Larkspur, and Lark just sends it screaming into the back post.
Who else but Larkspur? We've been calling his name all night with the 2 goals from last game. He's already got one in the first 30 seconds here as well. And then as he potentially gets another dribble, he doesn't follow it early enough, but the save does come out anyway. Back to the corner, just a miss, and now Yoshawatt has a lot of time unless Washi insta challenges. He does, but Yoshawatt's got 0 boost to work with, and not too much offense coming out right now. I think we had about 2 or 3 goals already come off at this point in the last 2 games, but it's been slowing down just a little bit. But they're harassing the back of the net or the backboard quite a bit in this first half.
The other thing I'm noticing is almost everybody at any time is out of boost. Like right now, Europe has no boost. I saw Eagle without boost for like at least a good 30 seconds before he finally picked up something. Nate finally getting a shot on target. Can they put it in? They just have to finish it. Eagle will finish the goal, and now we have a tie game. And I think this is one of the first tie games we've had in a long time.
Yeah, and still 3.5 minutes left. Maybe we'll see some more defense come out, as I believe we have we do have 3 saves on both sides, but maybe we'll see more backboard read plays coming out, or just at least defending the backboard a little bit more, as the rebounds off the backboard and walls have been helping out with the offensive side for most of this game, and at least the back half of last match. Maybe we'll see some more players go to the back of the wall and help for the backboard defense, and that might be able to tighten down a little bit of the defense and get rid of some of the pressure.
Absolutely. And I did just notice our fearless leader in there, Doughboy, posted in the chat, with Nate and Eagle on the same team, the relative lack of explosions is disappointing. So I'm assuming both Nate and Eagle are known for being demo merchants in the prospect tier. So I think I kind of agree. I'd like to see at least some more explosions. I know they had some in game 1, but it's definitely slowed down a lot. Is this ball just gonna go in?
I guess it did. They just thought it wasn't gonna go in. Might have come off the backboard and wanted to get the rebound, but Washiman just didn't think it went in. It just rolled in.
Well, definitely that is the most anticlimactic goal we've had so far. But I mean, we'll take it. It puts Emus back on top here, and they're once again starting to fire on all cylinders. Lark trying to pop this over one. It barely gets away. Lark unable to put this to the middle, but Yoshawatt's there, putting it to the back post, unable to find the net. Yoshawatt's still here, looking to pass to Yerp. Yerp has no boost, so Nate will be able to clear this away. Maybe looking for a pass here. Goes up to the middle. There's a bump. Washiman is up. What a save from Yerp to keep that away.
That backboard defense that I had referenced earlier, getting to the backboard, I believe it was Yerp finally went to the backboard. It cleared out the ball just a little bit, and now the pressure is gone. Got a little bit of chaotic there at the beginning, and then they all cleared out, and they had a chance to get back here on offense. They just need to win this midfield battle. But it looks like Eagle and Washiman are going to connect for a great pass. Was that a pre-jump?
I think Washi did indeed. Well, he didn't quite pre-jump it, but that was a great touch from Eagle to get it to Washi. I think Eagle wanted to take it themselves, but Washi said, nah, I'll just put this back post real quick.
Yeah, what a great read and great coordination. This one might almost go in. It doesn't quite, as Nate's able to get there in time. But yeah, what a great shot off the coordinated backboard. He had to look backwards for that as well. That is a tough shot. But Larkspur wants that one to go in. We're tied 2-2. Minute left. A little bit more defense we see this game, but we still have a minute to see some more goals fly off the chart right here. Larkspur's trying to line this one back up mid. He does. Yerp just not able to get it too far mid. Yoshawatt too close. And now going back the other way. Washiman just not able to get in. The double commit comes out on the defense, and it actually was necessary as it just pinched off the back of him and kind of relieved the pressure a little bit. But now they have to reposition to get out. Eagle backflips. He's not able to do anything. And then back to the corner. But they're not out of the woods yet. Nate looking to put that mid. And nobody has any boost on the Emus side, and they're going to pay for it.
What a... Oh my god. So, Earth were absolutely cooking that whole entire sequence. Making sure that that Emus were completely out of boost, just getting any touch they could to make them waste any boost they had, and finally getting a touch to the middle there. And I did see Nate start to hunt a little bit there to try to clear the way. It did seem to work, but now they just got to hold them off for these last 15 seconds. But will Emus be able to get a last-minute goal here?
We're going to have to find out indeed, unless Washiman tries to air dribble carry it over everybody. He's impressed me these last like 2 minutes, just with the impressive shots, just getting everything ever so close. He did get denied off that great put down shot, but wow, that was a great sequence in that last minute to put him up by 1. And then Emus definitely have to find a way to get more boost, because if you have 0 boost, you are not going to be able to do a whole lot.
Well, especially with the power that was coming from behind that shot. That was an impressive shot from, I believe it was Eagle that finished that shot, or it was Washi. Had to go back and look. But still, just the pressure was incredible. Making sure the Emus were out of boost was critical to that, and it allowed Earth to take this game number 3. So with that being said, what could possibly happen in game 4? Because now the defense is definitely starting to show, but both teams are shooting the absolute lights out. I mean, you see how many shots both sides have.
Oh yeah, Earth. I think we're gonna see a lot of backboard play where they're gonna be just throwing it back to the backboard. Somebody's gonna be trying to just keep it like near the net, like keep the ball high, keep it awkward for the opponents to clear. And we're going to see them try to sweep into the corners to steal the boost, because as we saw earlier, Emus just weren't able to find pads in their backside, and it definitely paid. They paid the price for not being able to find any boost. But if Emus can control their boost, I think we're going to see another really close match, maybe even go into overtime here for Game 4.
Game 4 overtime would be nice. We haven't gotten a single overtime yet. Early into game number 4 here, Washi has control of the ball. Looking to pass this to the middle, unable to get a touch, so Yoshawatt will clear this out. Eagle with a great challenge, just trying to get this ball in front of the net here. Will they be able to do it? No. Washi's going to send this back to the middle. Nate is there. Everybody commits. That's a dangerous situation, but luckily the ball just bounces harmlessly.
Yeah, as we see again, very little boost for the Emus. Maybe it's just a awkward rotation right now, but Larkspur just used all of his. He didn't find any. But Nate's got half tank left. Washy Man's full, Eagle's full, and I see only a half tank for the Emus. They're just trying desperately to keep it on that side and on the Earth side. Just do anything they can to have zero pressure, but nobody has any boost. All it takes is Earth to throw one off the backboard, and there's nothing they can do. As we see it come out again, boost is becoming a big issue for the Emus right now.
Larkspur also had to avoid a demo from Washy Man there, so unable to do much. Once you jump there, you're just kind of stuck in no man's land. Great offensive pressure already starting. And I do want to mention, I did see some lore in the chat. So Nate is actually a longtime member of Fly and captain of Emus. So this is actually a homecoming match for him, as Washy Man will immediately put another goal into the net. So it is definitely interesting to see Nate coming in here and being captain of the opposing team, basically.
Funny to see how you sometimes find your way out, think you're going to be there a while. Well, not in the RSC. Sometimes you move around quite a bit, just as they do in professional sports. But as we see right here, a 2-0 lead. They're finally starting to gel, and there's the backboard play that we were thinking about. Washy Man gets the double tap. A 3-0 lead now. What a great coordination. We saw it earlier off the having to read it from the pass behind him, and then we saw it again as with the put down shot just barely being saved, and here's the double tap. Washy Man is really putting on an effort to become MVP for this game.
I just want to remind y'all, this is Prospect, by the way. Why is he making that type of touch in Prospect? Oh my goodness. All right, Earth is definitely trying to make a statement here. They want to take this series. They do not want to split it. Emus have got to find something here. I mean, they still got plenty of time to come back, but they definitely seem like they are struggling a lot more now, at least in comparison to game number 2.
Yeah, they're struggling a lot more, and as we've said before, and I've said quite a few times, that boost is killing them. They just don't have any speed. They're not getting to any balls. The pad rotations, I think, after this match, it's starting to get out of hand. It's still manageable right now, but you got to make something happen. If you don't have boost, you can't pass, you can't get to the ball quick enough, and maybe we'll see some pad lines come out as Nate gets a nice little lob. That one goes in.
Oh no!
5 goals now, and we're just about at halfway. Haven't quite reached it, but there's a lot you can still do in 2.5 minutes. But it's not looking good for the Emus.
No, it is definitely not looking good at all. It's, at this point, I just want to point out, Lark has been pretty quiet these past couple of games. I mean, he's gotten a couple of goals, but definitely not putting on the performance that he put in the first 2 games, and Earth are just absolutely running away with it. We finally crossed the halfway point in this match, and Earth is running away with a 5-goal lead. This is the biggest lead we've had all night, so we'll just have to see if they can do anything to try to come back from this, but they definitely have got to start getting some boost. They are struggling.
Yeah, I like what we're starting to see in these last few seconds. They're starting to get the 50s off the right in front of the post, and if you put them up, keep the 50s going upwards, it's going to make it a lot more awkward for the Prospect players to reach out for and defend. But again, very little boost. Larkspur going to the wall. That's what you're going to have to start looking for when you're facing an offense that's been looking for the backboard the whole time. Yoshawatt pretty good on the ground play as he nearly gets a flick right there. You're trying to drop this one in the middle, but Washy Man's too mechanically sound. He keeps that one off the backboard. Attempted pass goes nowhere, but they're keeping the pressure, and they're starting to work. Just don't have the boost to keep the speed and make it a difficult situation.
Biggest problem that I've definitely been noticing from Emus right now, at least in the last couple games, is they've been kind of just throwing the ball away. They haven't really been looking to pass between their teammates. There's been a lot of a lot of solo play. Like, there have been a couple passes here and there, but there's just been nobody close enough to really take advantage of those passes. So it just kind of ends up going nowhere, or or Earth gets possession of the ball and is able to put on a quick shot. And with 50 seconds to go, this is all but done and dusted. Earth has taken a commanding lead, and it's hard to score 5 goals in 50 seconds.
Yeah, I would say this one's definitely out of reach. Maybe try to get one for the road, as Yoshawatt trying to keep this one in, but you gotta try to come away with something. Maybe pad the stats just a little bit, make yourself feel a little better after a 1-3 loss, but you still got one goal or one game, and anything's gonna help you out in the long run trying to make it to playoffs, as Europe actually does get one. They get one for the road with 15 seconds left. They'll try to make it 2, but anything helps lift the emotions after a difficult game like this.
Yeah, because any tiebreaker you can take, even just getting a goal at this point, if you do end up getting into a position where it ends up falling to tiebreakers, I do believe goals scored is one of the things that they look at. I could be wrong. Do not quote me on that. But this game is all done as Earth puts on a commanding Game 4 and will take the 3-0 victory, 5-1. The 3-1 victory. I believe I said that correctly the first time, but just in case I didn't. And before we go anywhere, Washiman MVP. He was doing absolute magic this whole series.
Absolutely. There's no question about it. I was impressed at the end of game 2. I was definitely impressed after game 3 and game 4. He just cemented himself as MVP. There's no doubt about it. Larkspur put on a push for it in the first 2 games, but Washiman just cleared him easily.
With that being said, somebody did mention that these two teams will meet each other again later, so it'll be interesting to see if if the scoreline goes the exact same, or if there's a sudden swing in Emu's favor. But with that being said, were there any other players you wanted to kind of highlight? I know we talked a lot about Washerman and Lark, but were there any other players you kind of wanted to touch on?
We didn't talk about Nate nearly enough. I mean, we were just kind of just in awe of Washiman's skill. But Nate was passing the ball quite a bit. I saw him at least with 1 assist every single game, and he got 2 in multiple. So he was setting up a lot for his team, and he was getting the saves when they came. So I definitely don't want to keep Nate in the dark. He definitely put on a great performance himself.
Absolutely, I would agree wholeheartedly. And then on the other side, I would say uh, we had a Yosha. Yosha was also doing a lot off the ball for his team. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out the way that they had quite hoped. But that is the nature of Rocket League. You know, you win some, you lose some, especially in RSC. When you're in comms like that, I know the comms get heated, or maybe they can get quiet depending on how things are going. But you know, it is what it is. You take the losses with you take the losses as they come, and you take the wins as they come as well. So you just gotta try to stay positive as much as you can, and just hope you get into that playoff spot. And I mean, if you don't, at the very least, just make sure you're having fun. That's the biggest goal.
Absolutely. This league is around to have fun and have a competition and push yourself to be a better player, and that's what it's all about, especially in these lower tiers, as all these players want to get better at the game. And we saw that tonight. Washiman is putting on a performance that he wants to get to that next tier in Challenger and prove his skills. And with that, I think it's a great time to end it. Thank you, MD, for being covering me for the first few minutes, and then HUD, as always, for putting on a production tonight. I'm SauceBoss36, and we'll see you all next Monday to have another match.
GG's. Have a good night.
Running full system diagnostics. Machine status